For years now, I've heard legends and fables about how amazing F.E.A.R is and how it's still one of the best first-person shooters to ever be made. Today we will put that to the test. The game centers around a team of Special Forces units called the First Encounter Assault and Recon, or F.E.A.R Team for short. They've been sent to a water processing plant to attack and kill a telekinetic man named Paxton Fattel and his heavily armed army of mind-controlled super militia forces that obey his every command. All you need to know though, is that you are the new guy on the squad being sent in after Fattel, and you possess heightened abilities and combat skills that most people don't, such as insane reflexes or in-game terms, bullet time, some hand-to-hand combat skills like butterfly kicks and slide kicks, and knowledge of how to properly use all sorts of guns. Let's get one thing clear right off the bat. The combat in this game is very cinematic and very fun. The rumors about it are 100% true, and this basically keeps the game fun throughout the 8 or so hours of runtime. Not only that, but the horror elements also add a really cool spin and give the game a lot of personality that it would have otherwise lacked. You will periodically encounter a number of these telekinetic beings, and when you do, everything slows down, the lights go out, and the tension rises a lot. There were a few moments in the first half of the game that really had me jump in my seat. Sadly though, most of the backstory behind the events going on can only be found in optional phone messages and computer recordings. If you wanted, you could actually skip most of the backstory in the game and not even learn about a few key players behind the scenes. The story isn't front and center in F.E.A.R however, it's the combat, and what is on offer is really top tier. Most of the guns pack an awesome punch, and there's just enough weapons on offer here for you to keep interested. I would have liked a bit more variety in them, however the cool factor alone in some of them, notably the shotgun, penetrator, and dual-wield pistols, could keep you entertained for hours on end themselves. These are even cooler in slo-mo when you can do all sorts of things like pin enemies to walls, shoot grenades and mines out of the air, and blow enemies into clouds of pink mist and rubble. What is combat without the enemies though? F.E.A.R is well known to have reportedly some of the best AI in gaming. This is due to the fact that they will chat with each other during firefights, describing what you're attempting to do. On top of this, they'll split up and try and flank you, use grenades, and draw you out of cover, and they'll charge you when you're most vulnerable. While admirable, I actually think it's not totally the AI that's responsible for this exciting combat. The level design goes a long way in helping these enemies feel more alive. Each area in F.E.A.R usually has plenty of cover, multiple floors, and multiple pathways to reach each section, allowing yourself and the AI to flank each other easily. Not only this, but things like explosive tanks and fire extinguishers are cleverly placed to add to the chaos and cinematic nature of the combat here.
He's here! Get out! Still there?
F.E.A.R's graphics also hold up brilliantly despite this being a 17-year-old game at the time of filming. The lighting and choice of level locations go a long way in keeping the game looking great. F.E.A.R's influences are felt heavily throughout its runtime, reminding me a lot of the Half-Life series in terms of graphics, world interactivity, and hidden health and ammo locations, as well as Easter eggs. Dynamic lighting shines throughout the game, and in moments of slo-mo mayhem, the game looks straight out of a John Woo or Matrix film. This doesn't mean the game is without its faults, however. Not all enemies are created equal in this game. In later levels, you will encounter enemies like ceiling-mounted turrets and mech-like robots that amount to nothing more than massive bullet sponges and opportunities for you to spam all of your explosives in one go. These do not distract from the pure awesomeness to be had in this game, however, and I still highly rate it to any fan of first-person shooters. F.E.A.R is a must-play game, and I'm only sad that it took me this long to play it. Monolith Productions knew what they were doing when they made this game, and kept it entertaining the whole way through. Just when I believed it was beginning to get stale, the devs threw in fun and comical little sequences, just like an elevator section right around the halfway point that had me laughing out loud and hooked right back in for the ride. I'm giving this game a 9 out of 10.
Are you okay?